Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy JC here again with another video from Wedge Concepts. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why you should avoid consolidating your debt. All right, so let's get right to it. All right, thank you for sliding through my channel. You know, I really appreciate it. So what I wanted to do in this video, I just wanted to explain why consolidating debt, especially credit card debt, is a very bad idea. Okay. So of course, you know, when you consolidate, you're taking all of your credit cards and your debts and you're putting it all together. You're consolidating it into one monthly payment, right? And so hopefully that one payment will be lower than the 5 separate payments. Okay. So we ride here, baby. We ride. Okay. So that's what consolidating does. But the problem is that most times you can actually pay off your debt faster if you don't consolidate. Because when you consolidate, you're going to end up paying more money down the line, right? In the long run, because you'll be paying more interest on top of these payments. And so if you're not familiar with interest, there's 2 types of interest, right? You have your simple interest, which is going to be like your credit cards, and you have your amortized interest, which is going to be like your mortgage and your auto loan, personal loans, things like that. So the major difference between the two is basically the way it's calculated, right? So let's say, for example, you have $10,000 and it's on a credit card, has an APR, let's say 21%. And then you have a loan, an auto loan, that has 6% interest. Okay. So remember the $10,000 on the credit card was $10,000 together. So $10,000 credit card, $10,000 in auto loan. Credit card, 21% simple interest. The auto loan, 6%. That's it. 21%, right? That's it, right? 21% simple interest on the credit card, 6% interest on the auto loan amortized. So which one is better? Of course, that's a trick question, because the 21% on the credit card is actually going to be better for you in the long run. And the reason being is that it's simple interest. And the way simple interest is calculated, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to bore you with that part of it. But let's say, like I said, 21% is the year, APR, 21% in 1 year. And you take that 21% divided by 365 days, and that's how much your interest would be daily if you had a balance. Okay. So if you had a $500 balance, and let's say you had 15 days until your statement closes, right? So you're carrying a $500 balance for 15 days. That's going to equal out to about 75 cents. And that's using that 21% APR. So your total balance would be $500.75. Now, when you consolidate, what you're doing is you're actually turning that simple interest credit card loan, if you will, into an amortized interest loan. And that's when they start to get you, because, you know, with the amortized interest, like each payment, you're going to have, just look at it like a mortgage or a house. You're going to have your principal and then your interest. Okay. So you're taking all of your debt, you're rolling into one nice amortized loan. And let's be real, these loans, they average around 20%, 23%. It's crazy. So if you do roll it all over, let's say into a 5-year consolidated amortized loan, and let's say it's $5,000 at 23% interest, you're going to pay $1,150 just in interest. Right? Got it? All right. So another problem. There's some folks that, for whatever reason, they still got to consolidate. No problem, right? Okay. So they consolidate all of their bills into one amortized payment, right? So now they have one monthly payment covers all their bills. Why do these people, these folks, your people, why, for some reason, they start using their credit cards again? And then they started getting credit card debt, and guess what they want to do? They want to reconsolidate. So they have the the debt that's already consolidated. Now you ran up a credit card for $2,000, and you're like, wait a minute. Let me call these people. Hey, I just got this $2,000. Can I roll this in it? They're like, yes, you can. We'll set you on a new 5-year. We'll get you at 23%. This is all you got to pay monthly. And you're like, okay, that'll work. Bad idea. Now, of course, the easiest thing that you can do is to pay down your debt, right? So let's just focus on the credit cards. You want to go ahead and pay down the credit cards that either have the smallest amount, which is kind of like the snowball effect, right? You start the smallest amount, get your little victories, get your confidence up, and you start to tackle the higher balance credit cards. The other option is to start with the credit cards that have the higher interest. Now, my best advice, and I'm not a financial planner or advisor, but my best advice would be if you apply, and I'm going under the assumption that you have, decent enough credit to apply for this, but you get a 0% introductory credit card that is at least 12 months. If you can find one that's 18 months, that'll be dope. So, and you see where I'm going with this, right? So depending on your credit is going to determine how much limit you get. And so what you're going to do is you're going to transfer the balances, starting with the small card, over to the 0 APR, right? And then you're going to start paying on that. And you're still paying your other bills as well. Once that pays down, you take your second card and you put that over. You may have to do it in chunks. You may have to do it multiple times, again, depending on your limit. So hopefully, at least over the course of the year, you could have moved as much of your credit card debt to the 0 interest APR credit card, right? All right. Now, we can all agree, that kind of hurt. We can all agree that, debt is not fun. It's stressful, right? So that's why we have to really look and do our research. You understand? Even though you hear all these commercials or you see these ads, just take your time and look at both the pros and the cons, because you could end up in the short term, it may seem like a good deal, but again, to look 3-5 years later, that's really what you got to focus on, which is the long game, right? So I always say that this is, a game of chess, not a game of checkers, because in chess, you got to have 3, 4, 5 moves ahead already in your mind before you move that rook or king or bishop, whatever you're trying to do. So I got to touch on refinancing, because refinancing could work, like on a car. Okay, so but you got to do it correctly. But there's some downsides to it. So let's say you got a 5-year, 60-month auto loan, and I like to use $10,000 because it's easy for me in my mind, at 6%. Again, amortized, which means what? You got a principal, you got interest, front loaded with interest. In your 3rd year of this 5-year loan, life happens, right? Something happens where you're no longer able to afford the monthly payments and you're in danger of your car being repoed. So you reach out to your bank, and you can even go to a different financial institution, but now you ask to refinance your auto loan, and let's say they say, sure, why not? Okay, so now you reduce the monthly payments, and again, as we discussed before, you're going to end up paying more in the long run, but you're able to keep your car. Again, this is not ideal. It's the same thing as consolidating. But look, everybody has their own financial situation. If I was at risk of losing my home or my car, okay, and I had a choice whether to consolidate or refinance my other bills and everything, my credit cards, I'm going to refinance my car and not touch anything else. Or I'm going to refinance my house and not consolidate anything else. Again, that's just me. From the research I've done, the math doesn't make sense to me in the long run. Okay? Of course, you got to do what's best for you and your family, your situation. Whatever you decide, do your research, be smart about it. Okay? So, as you know, what do I say? Do me a favor, right? Do not subscribe, do not like, but you got to share this information with someone. Okay? You got to apply it in your own life. You got to be able to use this information. Don't let it just sit. Let it come to you and go through you, right? Right. And so, take this information, share it. Let's build something together, okay? Let's grow and make something happen in 2021. All right? Take care.